Good morning, welcome. This will be our 1 hour gentle flow. Whether you're joining live or taking this on YouTube, glad to be here with you. If you have 2 blocks, you can put those at the top of your mat. We'll use those later. And then if you have a blanket, you can put that at the other end of your mat. It doesn't need to be a yoga blanket. And we'll begin today in a comfortable seat. So that can be legs crossed, Sukhasana. If you're working toward half lotus, Ardha Padmasana, one heel toward the opposite hip. And then always the option to sit up on the heels or on a block. So take a moment here to find your most comfortable seat today. In our practice today, we'll celebrate the vernal equinox, the beginning of spring. And so we'll work a bit today to create some inner heat, some inner energy. This is that time of year where we move out of stagnation and into new growth. As you settle down in your seat, start to ground down equally through both sides of the body, finding that balance between left and right sides. And as you feel ready, close the eyes and close the mouth. Begin to draw air in and out through the nose. And then as you breathe through the nose, start to deepen your breath. And in your mind's eye, visualize something that restores you, that rejuvenates you, something that sparks life or energy. That could be an activity, could be an experience, could be something you take in with your eyes. Just take a moment, whatever comes to mind, something in your life, in your experience, in your daily practices that restores you, renews you. When you have that in your mind's eye, with your next breath cycle, draw that activity or feeling or image all the way down toward the belly. Visualize filling the whole body up with that intention for spring. A few rounds of breath like this, just holding that visualization in your mind. And if you haven't already, start to activate your Ujjayi Pranayama, yogic victory breath control, lightly constricting the back of the throat, and start to cultivate an audible oceanic quality to the breath. If you're newer to yoga, this might sound quite loud, or you might not hear any noise at all. That's okay. Just start to engage the diaphragm, actively expanding the belly on the inhale, actively contracting the belly in and up on the exhale. And in the next few rounds of your breath, find the pace of breath you can maintain as we begin to move and build heat. Good. With your next exhale, open the eyes, keep the mouth closed down as we prepare to move. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers over the head and then press the palms toward the ceiling, lengthen through the spine. As you reach, keep drawing the rib cage in. Good, gaze stays straight forward here. Pull the shoulders back and down. One more inhale here. On the exhale, Prana Mudra, bend the elbows, shift the gaze up. Inhale, reach the arms back up, interlace the fingers. Exhale, press the palms toward the sky. Deep inhale here. Exhale, Prana Mudra, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace fingers. Exhale, press palms toward the sky. Deep inhale here. Exhale, Prana Mudra, and then release the hands behind the back, fingers pointed toward you. Walk your shoulder blades a little closer together and then press down through the palms, lift the chest up. Stay right here, or option to lift the pelvis off the floor, pressing hips toward the sky. Either way, arms are straight and strong. Good. Option to release the neck all the way back. Keep squeezing shoulder blades together. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release the hips, come to your seat. And if the legs are crossed, switch the cross of the legs. And if you're just joining, blocks and a blanket will be helpful today. Find your tall seat here. Next inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, interlace the hands, press the palms toward the sky. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, Prana Mudra, bend the elbows. Inhale, arms reach up, interlace the fingers. Exhale, press the palms toward the sky. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, reach the arms forward, find a forward fold. Hands are shoulder distance apart here, and then tense up on the fingertips. Draw your chin to the chest. And breathe. Come back to that visualization with which we began our practice. Something that causes you to feel a sense of renewal, feel restored, feeling energized as we move into spring. A couple deep breaths here. Next inhale, walk your hands back in, roll over the knees or send the legs to one side and meet me on hands and knees, coming into tabletop pose. Option to use your blanket here for extra padding underneath the knees. And then either way, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Toes can be tucked or untucked here. Ground down through the palms, pull up behind the navel. Next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Marjarasana. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest. Tilasana. Moving through cow-cats on your breath. In our cow-cats, striving just to move through the spine, arms and legs stay strong and stationary here. If you lost your Ujjayi breath, find that once more. Good. With your next exhale, find stillness, neutral tabletop, gaze between the thumbs, spread down through the fingers. Take an inhale, send the right leg back, plant the right toes to the mat, and then start to rock forward and back. Keep your arms and shoulders active here, getting into toe and wrist creases. And breathe. And then come through stillness, press down through the palms. With an inhale, send the right leg straight back, press the sole of the foot back. Option to reach left arm forward as well. And we'll hold for a few breaths here, building that sense of inner heat right behind the belly button. Good, crown of the head reaches forward. Make sure you're not holding the breath. Deep inhale here. Exhale to tabletop, reset, plant through the palms, and we'll move right to the second side. Inhale, send the left leg back, plant the left toes to the mat, and start to rock forward and back on the breath. Good, engaging all the knuckles of the fingers here, opening through the toe creases. And then come to stillness, press down through the palms. Inhale, lift the left leg up, press the sole of the foot back. Stay here or reach the right arm forward, thumb up. Gaze stays low here. Long line from hand to back of the head, all the way to that back foot. And breathe. Good. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. Send the knees wide, big toes touch. Press the hips back for wide-legged balasana, child's pose. And then if it feels okay, plant the elbows to the mat, bring the palms together, draw your thumbs toward the back of the neck. To deepen this stretch, you can walk the elbows forward and together. Let the forehead release to the mat or block. And breathe. Take a moment to notice any new sensations that have come up since we began our practice. No good or bad, just notice. And with your next exhale, reach the arms forward. Take an inhale, press up to hands and knees, tuck your toes. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet back, find that distance between hands and feet that you'll want for plank pose. And then start to bend one knee at a time, opening through the backs of the legs, engaging all the fingers and pressing down through the center of the palm. Back of the neck is fully relaxed. The rest of the body is active here. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then start to move towards stillness in your down dog. If you have lower back pain or the hamstrings are tight, you can keep a deep bend in the knees anytime we come to down dog. Otherwise, start to straighten through the legs, energetically draw your heels toward the mat. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank. Lower the knees, lift up the feet, cross one ankle on top of another. We'll work on our chaturanga push-up, yoga push-up, lowering only so far that you can press back up. Take an inhale, press the palms down. Exhale, chest toward the mat, elbows to ribs, lower and you mount. Inhale, press back up, slow and steady. Good. Exhale, lower and you mount. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, press up, uncross the ankles, tuck your toes, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 deep breaths in your down dog. Throughout our practice, you're welcome to find child's pose or down dog anytime you need a rest. Next, inhale, roll back to plank, just a breath. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, tuck your elbows to the ribs, and then hold here. Ashtanga Namaskar. We're working to get the chin to the mat, gaze to come forward. As the lower back arches, pull up behind the belly button. Good, next inhale, slide to the belly, straighten the legs, hover the palms and knees. Toes stay tucked to the mat, gaze is at the ground. And then pull the elbows back, pull the shoulders back. Good, deep inhale, lift the rib cage up. Exhale, press your knees or plank back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Next inhale, come up on the tiptoes, turn your gaze forward. As slowly as you can, tiptoe toward the hands, taking 10 or 20 steps. In your own time, meeting me in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Good, really nice effort. Drawing the weight forward, challenging balance. And as you find your forward fold at the top of the mat, option for feet together, big toes touching, or you can bring the feet hips distance apart. And then catch the elbows with the palms. Start to sway gently left and right. As you sway, ground down through all 10 toes, spread the toes wide, and start to draw the weight further forward. Maybe gaze turns up between the legs. Uttanasana. And just like in down dog, option to keep a deep bend in the knees. Anytime we fold forward, that'll help with any lower back pain. Begin to find stillness in your forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Take an inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Exhale, fold like this on the breath. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Next, inhale, arms out and up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, release the arms, coming to Tadasana. Our first time standing here in mountain pose. Start to engage the whole body, beginning with the feet. Create the widest foundation you can through the feet. Engage the outer hips, inner thighs, energetically drawing together. Squeeze the glutes together, tuck the tailbone under, and then pull the rib cage in and up. Gaze is straightforward and soft. Preparing for classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes, with extra breaths on the lunges. From the top of the mat, inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. And we'll hold here. Use that left hand to pull the left foot forward if you need, knee over ankle. And then inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank, option to lower knees. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, elbows to ribs. Inhale, slide to the belly, hover palms and knees. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, lower right knee, and hold here. Set up your lunge, left knee over ankle. Take an inhale, gaze turns forward. Exhale, step to the top and fold. Inhale to rise, arms forward and up. Exhale, heart center, second side. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale, lower left knee, and we'll hold here. You can use the right hand, pull that right foot forward. Good, deep inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward to plank, Phalakasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide to the belly, hover palms and knees. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, lower left knee, find your lunge, front knee over ankle. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, step to the top and fold. Inhale to rise, arms forward and up. Exhale, heart center, and release the arms back to Tadasana, mountain pose. From here, bring both hands to the hips, and then close down the eyes. If it feels uncomfortable with eyes closed, you can just take a soft gaze. Otherwise, with eyes shut down, take an inhale, lift the right heel off the mat, keep the right toes planted. Exhale, plant the right foot. Inhale, lift the left heel up. Exhale, plant. Continue this way on your breath. If the eyes are closed, exploring what this movement feels like, what balance feels like without sight. Good. See if you can lift and lower the heels without letting hips sway side to side. Few more rounds like this. Beautiful. Finish up left and right sides, ground through both feet. Keep the eyes closed if they're closed. Next, inhale, lift both heels any amount, maybe coming up onto the toes, and we'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower the heels, plant the feet, open the eyes. Nicely done. From the top of the mat, inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath cycle here. See if you can find that sense of ease or rest. Adding on, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands, lower your back knee. And then find your blocks. Bring your blocks under the hands at any height. We'll keep the palms planted on either side of that right foot, finding some movement on the breath. Good, deep inhale, chest lifts up. Exhale, straighten the front leg, flex the toes, fold forward. Inhale, low lunge, rise up. Exhale, straighten and fold, half splits. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, half splits. And then hold here, right toes are flexed. Keep your right palm on the block and then cross your left hand on top of your right hand. Shifting slightly to the right, crown of the head reaching forward, and breathe. For a deeper side stretch, you can walk your block in hands further to the right and further forward. Ardha Hanumanasana variation. Good. And an option to move that block away if you can reach the floor. The block just helps us to lift the floor, really focusing on lengthening through the torso here. Take an inhale, bring the left hand back to the left block. Exhale here. Inhale, bend the front knee, low lunge, and then reach the arms up overhead. If this is too intense, bring the hands to rest on that front thigh instead. If the arms are lifted, fingers spread wide, reaching toward the sky, and then pull the belly in and up. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale it out. Inhale, interlace the hands above the head. Exhale, press the palms toward the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, Prana Mudra, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace fingers. Exhale, press palms toward the sky. Deep inhale. Exhale, Prana Mudra. This time, inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, plant the hands, frame your front foot, step it back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold here or flow with me on the breath. If you're flowing, inhale to plank, option to lower knees. Exhale, lower to the belly, elbows to ribs. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra, hips on the mat. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll hold here about 5 breaths. Option to lower the knees for child's pose instead. If you're in down dog, find that balance of effort and ease, sthira and sukha. Let the face soften fully, whichever shape you're in. Slow down the breath. Good. If you move toward child's pose, make your way back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we'll take that on the second side. From down dog, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands, lower the back knee. And then once more, find your blocks on either side of that front foot. Plant your hands firmly. Those blocks can be at any height that works for you here. Moving on the breath. Inhale, gaze comes forward and up. Exhale, straighten the front leg, flex the toes, fold. Inhale, low lunge, keep the palms planted. Exhale, fold, half splits. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, fold. And we'll hold here. Back hip is over the knee. Notice if you sat the hip back, hip over knee, and then left toes flexing toward the head. Lift the right hand, plant the right hand on top of the left. Walking both hands as far to the left and as far forward as you can. Make sure the hips stay squared here. That right hip is pulling back, left hip forward. And breathe. Ardha Hanumanasana variation. In this pose, we're visualizing that we're catching flight here, looking down over the Himalayas. Good. Each inhale, crown of the head reaches a little further forward. Deep inhale here. Exhale, right hand back to your right block. Next inhale, bend the front knee, plant the foot, and then reach both arms up, low lunge. Again, option to place the hands on that front thigh instead. If arms are lifted, spread through the fingers. Feel that energy rising up out of the fingers. Feel that rootedness grounding down from the hips. Good. Deep breath cycle here. Take an inhale, reach through the fingers. Exhale it out. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Exhale, press the palms toward the sky. Inhale for length. Exhale, bend the elbows, Prana Mudra. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace fingers. Exhale, palms toward the sky. Deep inhale here. Exhale, Prana Mudra. This time, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Option to hold down dog or child's pose or flow with me on the breath. If you're flowing, inhale to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then if you've had enough intensity, make your way to child's pose. For a little more heat before child's pose, option for dolphin. For dolphin, from down dog, lower to the forearms, shoulders right on top of elbows. If this is too intense with forearms parallel, you can interlace the fingers instead. And then come up on the toes, shift your gaze toward the feet. Stay right here, pressing down through the forearms, or maybe tiptoe the toes toward your elbows. Shishulasana. If you're in dolphin, make sure you're not holding the breath here. Couple breaths in your variation. Good. If you're still in dolphin, deep inhale. Exhale, walk the feet back, forearm plank, and then lower to the knees, making your way to traditional child's pose, legs together. And we'll send the arms back this time, palms up. Let your shoulders rest. If the forehead doesn't touch the mat, you can slide a block underneath. And breathe. Face is soft. Whole body relaxes here. Only focusing on the movement of the breath. One more breath cycle here. Next inhale, reach the hands forward. Make your way up to hands and knees. And then all the way to downward facing dog, hips up and back. Energetically send the heels toward the mat. From down dog, take a deep bend in the knees. And then walk the hands back toward the feet for a forward fold at the back of the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need so you can catch the big toes with the first two fingers. Cap it with the thumb so your toes are stepping right down on those first two fingers. Take an inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, belly toward thighs for Padangusthasana. If the elbows bend, let them splay out to the sides. And breathe. Maybe gaze starts to turn up between the legs here. And once more, spread through your toes, press down through all 10 toes. Explore how far forward you can draw your weight. Hand to big toe pose. Next inhale, half lift, let the toes go. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms and bring both hands to the hips. And then take a big step forward, coming to face either long edge of your mat, big toes turning slightly in, outer edges of the feet parallel. Start to draw your elbows back, draw your shoulder blades together, draw the shoulders down from the ears. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, bend halfway, gaze at the floor, and hold here. Holding yourself with the core and leg muscles, and breathe. Good, keep squeezing shoulder blades together. Take one more inhale. Exhale, fold all the way. Great place for blocks if the hands don't reach the mat. You can bring your blocks at any height under the palms. Just like our yoga push-up and plank, hands are shoulder distance apart. And then walk your hands back. We're working to get hands and feet in one long line. Good. If the elbows are bending, draw them in toward the rib cage. And breathe. Prasarita Padottanasana A. If you're working toward inversion or you have inversion in your practice, you're welcome to go there now. If you're newer to inversion, Shalamba Shirshasana, tripod headstand. We're working to get the crown of the head to the mat, both hands pressing firmly to blocks or the mat. So you have a triangle between head and hands. Either way, back of the neck is fully relaxed here. We'll hold for a few more breaths. Really nice variations. If you are moving toward inversion, slow, steady breaths, using the exhales to start to lift the legs up. And if you did invert, start to come back to your wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale, half lift, come up on the fingertips. Exhale, bend the right knee, walk the hands to the right, keep your feet planted, side runner's lunge. Option to keep your blocks under the hands here, if that's helpful. And then gaze comes forward, hips sit back. We'll hold here. Make sure you're pressing through inner and outer edges of both feet. For more challenge, you can bring palms to heart center, just soles of the feet on the mat. Good. Option to keep the palms at heart center as we transition to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend the left knee. Sit your hips back to the left. Either palms to blocks or the mat, both feet planted. Or you can try bringing palms to heart center if they're not already. Focusing on lengthening through the spine, rooting down and back through the hips. And breathe. Good, next inhale back through center. Exhale, fold forward, release. Bend the knees, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, roll all the way to standing. Exhale, heel toe your feet together. And then step to the top of the mat. We'll take a half sun salute, Surya Namaskar, on the breath. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then either hold here or move through a flow with me. If you're flowing, inhale to plank, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath cycle here. And on the exhale, lower your knees to the mat. Keep your toes tucked, hips over knees. And then start to walk your hands and arms forward any amount. Just like dolphin, we're keeping our forearms parallel here. Maybe forehead comes to a block or the mat. If you have the space for a deeper back bend, chest and chin can come to the mat. And then really pull your shoulders back and away from the ears. Anahatasana, melting heart pose. Good. Once more, just come back to noticing sensation in the body, in the breath, in the energetic body. Just notice. If chest and chin are fully on the mat, option to tense up on the fingertips for the last couple breaths, arms off the mat. Next, inhale, plant through the palms. Exhale, walk the hands in, back to tabletop pose. And then take a few rounds of cow-cats on your own breath. Fingers spread wide. Breath comes first, movement follows. Enjoy that rounding sensation through the spine. After your next exhale, meet me in neutral tabletop, gaze between the thumbs. Good, from here, inhale, send the right leg back, and then send the right leg to the right, plant the foot to the right, walk your hands in, so you're standing up on that left knee, hands to hips, right leg extended wide. Good, we'll find some movement on the breath here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend to the right, left arm up and overhead. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend left, right arm up and overhead. Inhale through center. Exhale, Prana Mudra. Bend the elbows and hold right here. Chest and gaze lift up, but belly keeps pulling in. Really press the palms back in space. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, reach forward, and then find a forward fold. Keep that left hip over the knee rather than sitting back. And then relax the back of the neck, soften the face. That right leg is active and strong here. Next, inhale, walk the hands in, plant the right knee, back to tabletop pose. And we'll take that on the second side, planting down through the palms. Inhale, send the left leg back, and then left leg to the left. Plant the left foot on the ground. Walk your hands in, come to stand on the right knee, hands to hips. Really engage that left sole of the foot, and we'll move on the breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend left, right arm overhead. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, bend right, left arm overhead. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend the elbows, Prana Mudra. Gaze turns up. Fingers spread wide, energetically reaching fingers up and back. And breathe. Next, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, reach forward first, and then fold, plant the hands. Back hip stays right on top of the knee, and relax the head and neck. Actively pressing down through the palms and the left foot. Inhale, walk the hands in, plant your left knee back to tabletop. And then tuck all 10 toes, send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From downward facing dog, once more, bend the knees, walk the hands back toward the feet. Forward fold, hit the back of the mat. Uttanasana. Take an inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, release the arms, and we'll move towards standing balance. So if you like to use a wall, move so that either hand can touch the wall. And then otherwise, we'll start with feet hips distance apart, hands on the hips. Good, so maybe one hand on the wall, maybe not. And then throughout this, option to close down the eyes, as we did at the beginning of our practice. You can also explore closing eyes just for a moment or two, and then opening them back up. Either way, spread through the left toes, plant the left foot down. Take an inhale, lift the right heel off the mat, come up on those right toes. Before going further, draw your knees together, draw all the weight to that left leg. And then stay here or lift the right knee up, lift the arms up for crane pose, wrists relaxing to left and right sides. Good, and breathe. If the eyes are open, maybe explore closing them, noticing how that affects balance here. Coming back in if you wobble. If the eyes are open, soft, steady gaze. Bakasana, same name as crow pose here. One more inhale, lift that right knee up. Exhale, release, open the eyes if they're closed, shake it out. And then reset. One hand to the wall if you like, or both hands on the hips. And then this time spread through the right toes. Press down through the right foot, take an inhale, lift the left heel up. Before going further, draw your knees energetically together. Draw all that weight to the right leg. Good, either stay here or with an inhale, lift the left knee up, reach the arms up. Let the fingers relax to the sides. Wherever you're at, right hip drawing in, gaze is straight forward, maybe closing or gently blinking the eyes. Explore your balance today. Good. One more inhale, lift that left knee up. Exhale, release, shake it out. And if you left the mat, come back to your mat. We'll meet at the top of the mat. One last half sun salute. We'll really slow it down this time. From the top of the mat, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold your last down dog here, or take one more flow on your breath. Choose what you need. If you choose to flow, meet us back in downward facing dog. Good. Our last down dog here. Take one more full Ujjayi breath cycle. And with your next exhale, lower the knees to the mat, send the legs to one side, and come all the way to a seat. As you find your seat, we'll open the legs wide. Option to use your blanket here if you like. The blanket is just a support to help tilt the pelvis forward. So if you notice the back is rounding, you can try sliding a blanket under that back inch of your sits bones. Either way, flex the toes toward the body. Good. And then ground down through both legs. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. Good. Stay facing forward here. Deep inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend to the left, right arm up and overhead. That left hand can reach for your leg or foot. Maybe the left arm slides inside your left leg. Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana, revolved head to knee pose. That outer edge of your right leg is grounding toward the mat. See if you can straighten through that right arm and then work the right shoulder back so you can turn your gaze up. Good. If you have the space, option to catch inside the left foot with the left hand. Maybe right hand reaches up and over to the left toes, as long as your chest isn't collapsing forward here. Couple more breaths, find your deepest expression today. Next, inhale, rise up, reach both arms high. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, send the right leg wide. Exhale, left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Stay facing forward here, sitting tall. Ground down through that right leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend to the right, left arm up and overhead. And that right hand can come to the leg, ankle, or foot, or maybe you work the right forearm inside your right calf. Breathing into that opening through the left side body here, and then start to straighten your left arm, shift your gaze up, pull that left shoulder back. Option to catch the inside of the right foot with the right hand if that's accessible. Maybe left hand all the way to the right toes. Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana, revolved head to knee pose. And breathe. Next, inhale, rise up, reach the arms high. Exhale, release. And then if you have that blanket underneath, slide that aside. Send your legs forward, bend the knees. And we'll take our boat pose series all the way to the back. So we'll plant the feet down, Start with hands behind the thighs. If you've had enough core work, you're welcome to simply lay on the back here. Otherwise, deep inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Start to hover the heels, maybe just big toes on the mat. Maybe you bend the knees 90 degrees, gaze at the big toes. Stay here or reach the arms forward, palms towards your legs. Ardha Navasana, half boat. Keep track of your stamina. Eventually, we're straightening the legs, moving through full boat, Navasana, coming to the lower back. Holding just as long as your breath keeps moving. Gaze stays at the toes if the feet are lifted. If you're still in half boat, move toward full boat. Extend the legs forward. Reach the hands toward the feet. Whenever you're ready, lowering to the back. Option to hold a couple more breaths if you like. And if you haven't already, with an exhale, release. Let the arms relax, flip the palms up. Let the legs relax. Take a few rounds of breath here, enjoying, noticing that sensation of the whole physical body grounding down. Maybe noticing a different kind of relaxation here, the kind that comes after effort. In yoga, always striving to find a cycle of effort and ease, sthira and sukha. With your next inhale, bend the knees, plant the feet hips distance apart. And we'll take one round of bridge pose today. Option to have one of your blocks nearby if you'd like to make this restorative. Either way, arms alongside the body, palms down, and then slightly turn your big toes in, press down through the feet. Take an inhale, lift the hips up, press the hands and feet down. Option to slide your block under the sacrum or hold yourself with your glutes. Either way, walk your shoulder blades together under the back. As the chest lifts, keep the chin relaxed here. Setu Bandhasana. If you have the space, you can interlace hands behind the back, drawing palms and heels of the hands together, and then reaching fists toward the heels. Good, we're working to get hips to knee height. If you're feeling stable in your bridge, whether you have a block or not, option to inhale, lift the right leg up, sole of the foot toward the sky, hold for a breath. And with an exhale, plant the right foot. Inhale, lift the left leg up, sole of the foot toward the sky, hold for a breath. And exhale, release. One more inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, remove the block, unlace the hands, come all the way to the back, and just let your knees rest against one another. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Close down the eyes or take a soft gaze. And we'll take 3 rounds of lion's breath here. Lion's breath, we'll inhale through the nose, and on the exhale, stick out the tongue, loudly expelling all the air. Preparing to inhale here. Twice more on your breath. Good. After your second round, close the mouth back down. Re-engage your Ujjayi breath. It's a good time to add an extra beat or two to each inhale and exhale, lengthening your breath cycles, and allowing a slight pause after the inhale, belly filled with air, and a slight pause after the exhale, belly empty. Keep your breath moving. Take an inhale, draw the knees to the chest, hug them in, and then start to rock and roll any way that feels good along the back, the spine, the outer hips. Good. Make your way to stillness, hug the knees in, and then send both arms wide in a T, flip your palms down. We're setting up for a spinal twist here. Either keep your legs together or option to cross right leg on top of left before we twist, taking eagle legs. Either way, inhale, draw the knees to the chest. Exhale, knees up and over to the left. Shift your gaze to the right and let both shoulder blades stay on the mat here. So more important to keep the shoulder blades grounded than it is to try to get the knees to touch the ground. You can also slide a block under your outer knees and settle in a few deep, steady breaths here. Jatara Parivartanasana. For a little deeper twist, you can place your left palm outside your right leg if you have eagle legs. Giving a little extra weight to gravity here. Just make sure not to press on the knee. Toes and ankles are relaxed. Face is relaxed. And with an inhale, come through center, uncross the legs if they're crossed. Send the arms wide once more, flip the palms down. And if you took Garudasana legs on the first side, this time crossing left leg on top of right. Either way, take an inhale, draw the knees to the chest. Exhale, knees up and over to the right. Shift your gaze to the left. Option to slide your block underneath the legs. Both shoulder blades on the mat here. Slow, steady breaths. If you have legs crossed, to go deeper, place the right palm outside your left leg, just adding a little extra weight. If you notice chitta vritti, mind thoughts, distractions coming up, just visualize the movement of your breath in your mind. And with an inhale, come through center, uncross the legs, and move toward happy baby, bending the knees, knees to armpits, and catching outside the feet or outside the legs. You can stay in stillness here, or you can rock left and right. And for happy baby, we do want to catch outside the feet rather than inside the feet. When we catch outside the feet, we can energetically draw our thighs toward the body. If you have the space, option to catch the big toes with the first two fingers, straighten both legs wide. Few breaths here to explore. Maybe closing the eyes down if they're not already. Ananda Balasana. We're heading towards Shavasana for our final resting shape. So we'll leave space in the next 10 or 15 rounds of breath. If there's another asana, posture you need, to find any clothing or props you'd like to be comfortable and warm. No rush here. Wherever you're at, inhaling to a count of 3, 4, or 5, slight pause. Exhaling to 3, 4, or 5. Slight pause. If you are finding movement, start to move toward your second side. Balance out the body. If you're newer to yoga, you can think of Shavasana like the way we come to sleep at the end of a day. That time to integrate, relax, process unconsciously, make meaning from your practice. And if you're still finding movement, begin to wrap that up. the lower back is sore or fatigued, you can slide your blanket underneath the knees. Or to add a little extra weight on top of the body, you can slide your blanket across the hips. And then start to recline fully on the back, extending the legs long. You can adjust the distance between the legs here. Find that sweet spot where the pelvis, the hips can fully release. Let the toes splay out to the side. And as you settle in on the back, gently tuck your shoulder blades just a bit closer together. Slide each heel a little further from the body. And draw the chin toward the chest. Create your longest shape all the way from back of the head to the backs of the feet. So we began our practice visualizing something that gives us energy, renewal, a sense of passion maybe. Here, as we move towards Shavasana, I invite you to draw into your mind's eye something that brings you peace, calm, or groundedness. Can be an activity, can be an experience, be an image. Take a moment, whatever comes up, something that brings you peace, groundedness, and calm. And then hold that image, idea, experience in your mind's eye. Take 5 slow breath cycles here, just focusing on that thing that brings you calm. After you finish those 5 breaths, keep the mouth closed, but release your Ujjayi breath control. Let the back of the throat relax. Let the abdomen relax. Close the eyes if they're not already. Let the breath become soft and shallow. Turn the work of holding your physical self over to the ground beneath you. Knowing that your practice on your mat will carry with you when you leave your mat today. Nowhere else to be, no more effort to make. Simply holding this shape in quiet and stillness. I'll chant us into Shavasana with 3 rounds of Om, the universal sound of nature. As I chant, let go of my voice and cues. As you rest easy. Aum, Om Hara, Om Hari, Om Haru, Om Harai, Om Hara, Au, Om, Om Hara, Om Hari, Om Haru, Om Harai, Om Hara, Au, Aum. Keeping the eyes closed, begin to deepen the breath. Once more, using the diaphragm to draw air toward the belly and back up and out. As you feel ready, introduce small movements to the fingers and toes, hands and feet. Gently roll the neck back and forth, up and down. Take a moment just to notice any differences in how you feel, mind, body, and energetic body since when you began your practice today. Whatever you notice, hold on to what serves you. Simply exhale aside what doesn't. In your own time, find a full body stretch, maybe interlacing hands overhead, reaching from hands to feet. If it feels okay, draw both knees to the chest, roll to the right side body. Allow yourself a few generous breaths in this in-between shape before we rise to a seat. When you feel ready to rise, eyes closed or gaze soft, press yourself to your comfortable seat. Once more, grounding down equally through left and right sides of the body. And as you find your seat, bring palms to heart center, Ujjayi Mudra. Roll the shoulders back and down, pressing thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. We bow and say a word. Namaste. Thank you so much. Really glad to practice with you all. And one announcement that our first Sunday of the month park yoga will start on the first Sunday of April, April 3rd at noon. That's open to all. That'll be an all levels class, and I will have some props and mats available. So hopefully the weather will work out for that. And then once I end the recording, happy to chat if you have any questions or feedback, and have a great rest of your week.